want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. Why is the ending we know to the Lord's Prayer in Matthew 6, why is it in the King James Version and not in any other version? Well, that famous statement at the end of verse 13 in chapter 6 that says, "Thine is the power, the glory, and the kingdom forever. Amen." You hear it when you hear that great choral rendition of what we know as the Lord's Prayer. It is only found, at least in English translations, in what we know as the King James Version. And so the big question is, why does it have it and none of the others do? Well, really, it's an issue of text and tradition. You say text and tradition. Well, when you go back to the respective Greek texts that we have, that's a whole discipline in and of itself. There are at times discussion and debates about which phrases should and or should not be included. That's part of it. But really, this is more of a, quote, traditional response. Allow me to address it in this manner. If you ever write a letter to someone, or if you've ever written a paper for school, anytime you go back and you edit it, you always remove things. You make them more concise. You truly edit. Rarely, if ever, and I've done a whole lot of academic work, do you write a paper and then go and add sentences and add paragraphs. You always remove to bring it clear. In fact, I had a professor who taught me how to write that said that your first draft ought to be at least twice as long as your final draft. That's what editing does. Now, this is how I've answered the question. The reason it's absent from all these other versions is they've edited it. They've removed it. It wasn't added to the King James. It was removed from these others. And it's because traditionally there are a whole lot of different denominations and faiths that practice what we know as dominion theology, meaning that they feel as the church that it is their giftedness to overtake, rule over the things of this earth in anticipation for Jesus' return. Whereas the truth is much the opposite. We are not told as a church to reign over the earth. We're told to serve the Lord until he comes, and then we, quote, reign with him. So traditionally speaking, if you edit and you remove that statement, you have opened up the windows for you, quote, the church, to reign in Jesus' stead until he returns. What we know is the Old King James, the oldest of the English translations as far as popular distribution and publication, says the reigning only happens when Jesus comes. So if I were you, I'd go ahead and quote the long version. Y'all have a great day. If you have a question, send it to AskJeff.net, and maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.